2.1 we're going to look at intercepts. Okay, an x-intercept is the point where the graph intersects the x-axis. Remember, this is the x-axis, the horizontal axis. The vertical axis is the y-axis. Now there's no graph on here, so we're going to go ahead and graph. Because this is a graph, this chapter is on lines, we're going to draw a line. I'm going to go ahead and make my line go this way, okay? Trying to make it hit both axes. Okay, now this is the x-axis right here. The point where the graph hits the x-axis is right there. Okay, so that point is called the x-intercept. It's because that's where it intercepts the x-axis. When you write the answer for an x-intercept, it should be an ordered pair because it's a point. So if I were finding the ordered pair of this one, I would go to the side, whatever x is, and I would go up 0 because it's right on the x-axis. So the x-intercept always looks like some x value, comma 0. Okay, now the y-intercept is the one that intersects the y-axis. So here's the y-axis. My line is intersecting right there. So the point of it right there, that's called the y-intercept. Okay, when you write the ordered pair for a y-intercept, we go to the side 0, but we go up y because we're on the y-axis. So our answer for y-intercept should always be in the format 0, comma something. Okay, so for the first example, we're just going to look at the graph and find the answer and then write our answer as an ordered pair. Okay, for x-intercept, I sometimes write x-int because it's an abbreviation, it's easier. Okay, remember, this is the x-axis. Okay, so look and see where the x-axis intersects. There's the graph, right? Intercepts the graph right there. Okay, when I write the x-intercept, I'm not just going to write -3. I have to write it as an ordered pair. So my ordered pair is going to be x, comma y, so I'm going to go left 3, but I go up 0. So the x-intercept is -3, comma 0. It must be an ordered pair or it's not a point. Okay, now the y-intercept intersects the y-axis. There's the y-axis. Okay, they are intercepting right here. Okay, ordered pair again. I go to the right 0, I go up 2, so 0, comma 2. And that matches the format I expect for a y-intercept. It should be 0, comma the y value. Okay, let's look at this B graph. Okay, let's do x-intercept first just because. Here's the x-axis right around there. Okay, so that is the x is 2, the y is 0. Okay, the y-intercept, it intercepts right there at the -5, but I'm going to write my answer as 0, comma -5. Let's do one more. X-intercept right there at the -1, but the ordered pair is x is -1 up 0. The y-intercept down at -3. So 0, comma -3. Go ahead and try the practice problems. Okay, and then we're going to go to example 2 on the back. Okay, so for example 2, it says draw the graph of a linear equation with the given intercept. So we're doing the same thing, just in a little bit different order. Remember, if this is a linear equation, when I draw it, it's going to be a line. So it has to be a line. Okay, let's graph the information they give me, and then we'll draw the line. Okay, so the x-intercept is 3, comma 0. So if I start from the origin, I'm going to go right 3, up 0. That's reasonable because that's hitting the x-axis. The y-intercept is 0, comma 5. So from the origin, I go right 0, up 5. 1, 2, 3, all the way up there. Okay, now I'm going to draw the graph of the linear equation, so it's going to be a line. Okay, I'm going to draw my line, make it as straight as you can. Lines go forever, so make it longer, put arrows at the ends. Okay, so that's the linear equation with those intercepts. Okay, B, same thing. They just didn't tell me which one's the x and the y, but I can tell by the ordered pair. So I'm just going to graph -4, comma 0. So x is -4, up 0. And then 0, comma 2. So I go right 0, up 2. And then because it's a linear function, I'm going to draw the line passing through those 2 points. Lines are long. They go forever in both directions, which is why I use an arrow. Okay, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to find the intercepts algebraically, meaning they're going to give you an equation, and you have to figure out what the x and y intercepts are. Okay, the key to finding them is to remember the ordered pairs. So if you want the y-intercept, the answer is normally 0, y. Because it's 0, y, the x is always 0. So to find the y-intercept, we plug in 0 for the x and we solve for y. To find the x-intercept, we use the fact that the ordered pair is always x, 0. So the y value is always 0, and then we can solve for x. Okay, we're going to go ahead and look at example 3. To find the y-intercept, let's do the y-intercept first. It doesn't matter which one. Okay, because I'm lazy, I'm going to write y-int. Okay, you don't have to label it on your work, but because these are our notes, I'm going to label it. Okay, so to find the y-intercept, I'm going to make the x equal 0. Okay, so I'm going to look at the equation, and where the x is, I'm going to plug in 0. So negative 3 times 0 plus 4 times y is 24. Okay, now 3 times 0 is 0. Okay, so if I put a 0 here, it just goes away. So this won't be bad to solve. Let's bring down the 4y equals 24. Let's divide by 4. So I get y equals 6. Now the y-intercept is not y equals 6. Y equals 6 is actually a line. The y-intercept has to be an ordered pair. So my ordered pair is going to be x is 0, y is 6. Okay, so my y-intercept is 0, 6. Must be an ordered pair. Okay, let's find the x-intercept now because it wants me to find both. Okay, if I want to find the x-intercept, I let y equal 0. So I'm going to plug in y equals 0. You don't have to write this every time. This is to remind me for my notes. Now I'm going back to the original equation and starting over. The equation is negative 3x plus 4 times y. For y, I'm putting in 0. Still equals 24. Now if I do 4 times 0, I get 0, so this goes away. So I have negative 3x equals 24. Okay, let's go ahead and solve for x. X equals negative 8. Now my x-intercept is not x equals negative 8. My x-intercept has to be an ordered pair. So my ordered pair should be the x, comma, y. Okay, go ahead and try example 4. I think I'm going to stop the video so you can try it and then check your answer when you're done. Okay, for example 4, I got 0, negative 7. Just make sure you brought down your negative 2y when you solved. For the x-intercept, I got 14, 0. And once I plugged in 0, it just turned into x equals 14 and solved itself. Okay, now try example 5. You're going to get a fraction. I just need you to be okay with the fractions. Okay, for the y-intercept for example 5, I have 0, negative 11 over 5. It's okay to have fractions. I might not want to graph them, but if I had to, I could. For the x-intercept, I got positive 11 over 4, 0. So make sure you brought down the negative 4x. And then when I divided negative 11 by negative 4, it turned to positive 11 over 4, 0. And again, I don't mind fractions. I just don't always like to graph them. Okay, go ahead and try the practice problems. Check your answer with the solutions at the bottom later.